So there you are, out thrifting, hunting in the wild for tapes. You're digging through tapes at the thrift store. You find yourself on the floor on your hands and knees underneath some dirty ass table at the filthiest flea market you've ever seen out in the middle of fucking nowhere that you drove 45 minutes to get to. And after all that, you stumble upon the perfect tape. A movie that you've been looking for, a rare movie. Jesus Christ, you can't believe you fucking found this in the wild. And it's like 25 cents. And so you buy it, of course, and you get home, and you go to watch it, and guess what? Covered in fucking mold. All over the tape. Hey, wait a minute, man. I was gonna put this in, there's all this fucking white shit all over it. What the hell? Maybe I shouldn't put this in my VCR. Well, the simple solution to this is to check the tape before you buy it. Take it out the slipcase and look at it. So if it's moldy, you can toss it. Or maybe you're savvy enough that even though it's moldy, you buy it because you know it can be cleaned. But chances are if you do that, you already know how to clean the tape. But let's say you've bought it and you know it can be cleaned, but you don't know how to do it. You just know it can be done. Well, fear not, because I'm gonna teach you a way to clean that. Possibly correct. Probably not. But I'm gonna show you anyway. So before you leap into this Herculean task, you're gonna need some supplies. A VHS tape with mold, rubbing alcohol, one tiny Phillips head screwdriver, some Q-tips, some sort of material, possibly cut into a strip. Some people prefer to use microfiber. Next, you need a pair of scissors. Kids, make sure you get your parents' permission and supervision before using the scissors. They're very dangerous and they could hurt you. One rubber band. A VCR. Now, this needs to be a VCR that you're gonna dedicate to cleaning. So, an extra VCR, a spare. I found this one at the thrift store for maybe $4. So if you can find a cheap VCR that you can use just for this, then you're golden. I don't think you could use like a VCR rewinder, like just the rewinder that are shaped like cars. I don't know if you could use those because they move faster. Maybe you could use those. And one Ziploc bag of batteries of varying size and voltage. This is very important to the project. Also, I am not responsible if you fuck something up. I'm just not, so try this at your own risk. Although, that's why you buy a VCR that you will only use for this. So if you fuck it up, it was cheap and it doesn't really matter. So let's get started. Here we have all of our necessary supplies. Now, this is something that I didn't mention. It is, I don't know what the hell it is. I have a VCR cleaning kit that comes with like 3 of these that you use on the drum and on the head to clean the VCR. And I used this to clean tapes and it worked very well, but it's like all frayed and stuff and I need to get a new one. I didn't mention this because I don't even know where the hell he got this. A friend gave it to me, that horror dude Jimmy Galway, and I don't know where the hell he got this. I guess I do have the ones that are in that VCR cleaning kit, but I don't know, the material is like feels different on those, so I'm hesitant to use them. Make sure you have the batteries. Right now, what you're gonna do, see these are batteries, various sizes batteries, lots of C, I guess, sized batteries. This whatever battery, lots of AA. a 9-volt. Lots of batteries. We're gonna set that aside for right now, but this is gonna come into play later. Okay, so the first thing that you need here is the tape itself. Now I've got 4 tapes here that need to be cleaned. Unfortunately, none of them have major mold issues, so it's going to be hard to show like a before and after, but you know, I check tapes and it's rare that I find something that's worth getting that has a lot of mold on it. So we've got Philadelphia Experiment 2, this Prince Sexy Motherfucker video single, Baywatch, White Thunder at Glacier Bay, and the Sonny Chiba movie, Samurai Reincarnation. Now, let's check out the situation with the mold here and see. This one, I don't even see any mold on here. I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna clean it anyway. Okay, this one's got some mold. Please rewind tape. This has a little bit. Okay, so this is going to be hard to see because of the lighting in here, but this is what clean tape looks like. Now, this has mold somewhere, but see how it's all black because it's supposed to be all black. Here's this Sonny Chiba movie. I mean, you can see how it's like, the mold isn't bad, but you can see that it's there. And there's a little bit over here. And it's like all in here. Like around the whole tape, it looks like dirt on there. And then this Prince tape is only like 9 minutes long, so it's one of those like really short videos. Like it has a decent amount of mold on there. If I can get the fucking light right. There, you see that? Like the white shit around it. Like this is what a clean tape looks like. And sadly, this is what this Prince tape looks like. So I'm gonna clean this one since it's, I guess, gonna be the most radical change of all of these, even though it's small, but it doesn't matter because the principles are still the same. Okay, so the first thing that you need is the VHS tape, and then you need the little tiny Phillips head screwdriver. The tape is held together by 5 screws. There's one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here in the center. We're gonna remove all of these screws. Now that the screws are gone, we want to take the tape apart. Now, you want to make sure that the tape is front ways up when you take it apart, because if not, everything is going to fucking fall out of there. And remember to store the screws from the VHS tape aside in a safe place, as you will need them later to reassemble the tape. Now we're going to take the tape apart. Sometimes it's kind of hard for the top to come off. You have to struggle with it a little. Just kind of be careful so you don't just break the fucking thing. Okay, so here there's like some posts and shit that all of this will fall out if you open it the other way. And if you don't know how it goes back together, then you're fucked. So here you can see the mold a little bit better now that it's not going through that window. Now what we're gonna do is pour some of the rubbing alcohol into the cap. We're going to take one Q-tip, dip the Q-tip in the rubbing alcohol. Then I take the top part of the tape and just clean it around. If there are spots of mold or, you know, little like dirt looking spots, like make sure you get those and clean the shit out of it. And just kind of, you know, all around here. I guess you can get in there or whatever. One time I found a bug in one of like this little area. It was very fucking weird. Like I don't know how in the fuck it got in there. Then set this piece aside and allow it to dry. Now we're gonna take the same Q-tip and we're gonna clean the empty reel. Now sometimes this is a bit tricky. If you get a tape, you can also, you know, to do this, you can pull the reel out. You just need to pay attention to how the tape is spooled in there so that you get it back on there right. You also want to make sure the spool is completely dry, because having alcohol on there when you play the tape can cause it to like get stuck on shit, and it's just a hell. It's a living hell. So now we want to take the completely dry top, put it back on the tape. Kind of tricky to make sure you don't get the tape caught in the little door thingy. What the fuck is this called? The flap. There's this little button right here that you hit and it goes up, and you need to do that to put it on, because if not, you will get it caught on this and it will fucking get all bunched up. You could put the screws back in for this next part, but I never do. Maybe I should, but I don't. And sometimes I do. Now the next thing you're gonna do is take the top off of your VCR. Now this varies from VCR to VCR, so you just have to look at how it's screwed in, and then you pull it off, and here we go. Okay, so now we are inside the VCR. The playhead on the VCR, where the fuck am I? Is, I think, right here. I think that's the playhead that reads it. Or maybe this is the head. I don't know. Damn, I'm a good VCR repairman. So you just want to spin this around and then kind of clean it. And sometimes you get some dirt off of it. This is the audio head right here, I believe. And I guess you clean all these little wheels and whatever posts. So there's your guide to VCR cleaning, although it's possibly and probably wrong. So here's our tape. There you can see the mold. Oh shit, I forgot the most important part. First, take the Q-tips. Cut these end things off of the Q-tips, but only on one side. We want them to be little tiny stick thingies. Then we want to take our material. Some people use microfiber, but the only microfiber I have are these eyeglass cleaning microfibers, and they're kind of coarse, so I'm not going to use it. So you take your material and you wrap it around. You wrap it around the Q-tips like this, so you have the little thing. Maybe you're supposed to do this the other way around. Who cares? So you want to fold this over and Q-tip it high enough to where it's not going to touch the tape. Leave enough of this to touch the tape. Now you apply a generous amount of rubbing alcohol to this contraption that we have constructed. I guess a lint-free cloth would be the best way to describe what you need here. So now you're going to take the tape and insert it. You're going to take the tape and you're gonna insert it. Okay, sometimes this thing is really weird and I have to like put that on the top. Also, you want to make sure that this is completely dry, because if not, especially this little, like, there's a thing right here. It's like a foam circle thing. You want to make sure all of this shit is dry, because if you put a tape in there and it's wet, it will get caught up and fucking tangled up in all of this because of the friction or something, and it's a hell. A living hell. We're gonna put the tape in. Now, we're gonna take this thing and we're gonna put it kind of like right in here. What the fuck is going on? So you want to post up right about here, like in the corner. And I know it's like hard to see, but it's rubbing up against the tape as it passes. That was playing. What you want to do is stop it and fast forward this son of a bitch. Holding this against it. Don't put too much tension on it, because if you do, it will slow it down and it'll get all kind of fucked up. So now we want to take the tape out. Now if you can see this tape. Now if you look at this tape now, it's clean. I mean, compare it to the moldy fucking thing that I just put in there. So what you want to do now is take a Q-tip and clean out the spool where the tape just came from, the moldy tape. And get this shit all good, top and bottom. Kill anything that could be in there. Also want to kind of clean the posts. Now you want to put the VHS tape back together again. Okay, so now you put the VHS tape back together and put it back in this son of a bitch. Now you take this, and what you want to do now is put it, are you kidding me? Play. Now one thing that I forgot to mention is that you want to make sure that there's not so much tension that when it pulls the tape in, there's not enough, like it starts to pull it out, and then the end of the tape where it's connected to the reel is right here and it's only out here. It's going to go back. So you need to make sure there's enough tape right here for it to actually get going. So usually what you do is when you're cleaning the tape, you stop it and rewind it for just a second to give it enough tape, or you can do this. Now right here on the tape is that little thing that was inside. Now you want to put something in there, and then you want to roll the tape back, because if not, it won't really go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and put it by the audio head, which is right over here. And we want to kind of get it right there, so that way we're cleaning the other side of the tape. Because when it came through the first time, we cleaned this side, and now we're going to clean the back side of it. So we're going to rewind the tape. Again, make sure you don't put so much tension on it that it kind of like, it'll stop the tape. See how it kind of slowed it down? You put just enough on there to make sure it's actually cleaning it. And now if you look, the tape is all black and clean, as opposed to how it was covered with mold earlier. Now, our final and most important supply, the bag of batteries of various shapes and voltages. Now what we're going to do with these is we're going to take them, batteries, we're going to take them, and we're going to store them away. And so we have saved this Prince tape. So I'm sure there are a lot of people who will be like, that's not how you fucking do it. Well, that's how I do it. And like I said, I'm not responsible for you fucking something up. So if I'm not doing it right and you do it and you fuck something up, that's not my fault. But it's worked for me every single time. Now you're supposed to do this outside in a well-ventilated area, and you're supposed to wear gloves supposed to wear gloves because of toxins and mold and funguses. But who gives a shit about things like health? I don't have time for all that. Gotta clean 4 of these fucking tapes. Well, I hope this video helped you and that you can salvage your tape. As always, thanks so much for watching, and you should go down and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.